Everyone, my name's Anthony Beardsall. I'm a professional coach and a professional trader, and I've been watching a debate, if I can call it that, between Meir Barak and Patrick Wieland on their various YouTube channels over the last few weeks, and I wanted to have my say. Frankly, it's been getting a bit heated, this debate, and as a coach, I've got a couple of opinions that I want to voice, which, I think are impartial opinions, and I'm not going to take one side or another. And frankly, I think that actually both parties have arguments from their own sides, and they just need to, being a moderator, if you like, they just need to understand each other a little bit, but they've also got learning points. And so just a little bit of a background on this, Patrick Wieland on his YouTube channel came out with some fairly strong language, and he mentioned things like Ponzi schemes, and he's questioning the integrity of a man. Patrick's offering an opinion, and that's what he does, and that's absolutely fine if all it is an opinion. And I think it probably is. But Patrick, I'm talking to you now. You need to be aware of the language that you're using, man, because when you start labelling people and organisations with words like Ponzi and scam, then these things stick. You've got an opinion, you are a disturber, and so because you're a disturber, people can expect you to disturb, but you need to just watch the language that you use, because it has an impact, and it may or it may not be fair, and that, I think, is the question. Okay, so let's not fly off the handle, guys. It looks like there's been threats made here, and threats of lawsuits, legal action, and Meir got extremely irate in one of his videos that I saw. And is that actually called for? I guess if somebody's questioning your integrity, then you've got a right to defend yourself, and I understand. And Meir, you're a good educator. I've taken one of your programs, so I'm going to talk from experience, from a little bit of experience, and you are a good educator. But man, there are some questions outstanding. There are some questions that need answering. And Patrick's done it. He's done it. And has he actually done it in a way that's acceptable? I'm not sure about that. And so I can understand you defending yourself, but here it is. Meir, from my experience, I had I'm a professional trading coach. I'm a professional trader. I trade successfully. Have been doing for many years. And you, Meir, you were one of the people that I studied when I decided to become a professional trader. I looked up to you. I took one of your training courses. I looked up to you. And, I've been in the financial services industry in the UK for 30 years. That's a long time in my life. I've got a lot of experience. I'm quite well educated. And I have to say that whilst I do, I'm a professional, I don't offer advice on this YouTube channel. I don't offer advice as such in terms of trading, when to take trades, when to enter, when to exit trades. I can give people the benefit of my experience. I don't give advice, but I used to advise people on their finances. And Meir, I can tell you that in terms of finances, when you deal with people's money, you need to be, and this because you've got regulators, as you say, you need to be transparent, you need to be upfront. When you're dealing with people's money, then they need to know where that money's going. And if I'm honest, Meir, there is no transparency in your Tradenet, TEFS and Colmex relationships, or there's a lack of transparency at the very best, And Patrick actually highlighted one of the comments that I made on one of your videos, which was just saying, what sort of involvement have you got in TEFS? Are you a director there or not? And you said no, and that's fine, but it doesn't answer the question for me, which is, who are they? I invested money in one of your Tradenet programs and got a Colmex account and got emails from TEFS. And I looked into, what each part or each segment of the business or businesses they were and how they interrelated. And I couldn't figure it out. And I think I'm an educated man. I couldn't figure it out. Once I did your introductory program, had a bit of success with that, and everything was fine, and your teaching, Meir, was great. It did help me. It consolidated a lot of the knowledge I'd got about trading from other educators and true, top professional traders on Wall Street and outside of Wall Street in the UK and elsewhere as well. All over the world I've studied with people and educated myself. I spent years educating myself, and I spent many hours a day studying, and so I know you're a good teacher, Meir. You're a good educator, but there are things that, when you're not transparent with people are going to ask you questions, and you have to be transparent when you're managing and when you're dealing with people's money. Meir, your courses, your introductory courses are fair price, you get a reasonable deal. It's not dramatically expensive, if you like. Whether it offers value or not, I'm not sure. But you and your trading room did give me value. You did give me value with that. It was mainly through the trading room and your experience and the education that you gave through your trading room that I felt as though I had value. In terms of the trading account itself, did I get value? Well, that was part of the deal. But I did get phone calls asking me to invest it more in Colmex, open up a separate account. And frankly, Meir, I couldn't because I wasn't sure where that money was going. And I like to know where my money's being invested or where my money's going. I want to know that, my skills as a trader can mean that I can benefit from the money that I'm investing. Otherwise, why would anybody do it? And it's not clear with the Tradenet, Colmex, TEFS relationship. It's just not clear. I'm giving you a bit of feedback here, Meir. I like you. I think you're great as a trader. But as a businessman, I'm sure you're highly successful. And I do understand that, I trade CFDs. I understand how CFDs work. As a financial advisor, that's part of the product range that I'm more than aware of. I know how brokers work. I know how they're regulated. And I have to say as well, if you're listening regulators, I'm not happy with some of the regulation that's going on, because there are certain things that CFD providers and other broker providers in the trading industry do that are, it could be seen as shady practices. Now, don't read anything into the word shady there necessarily, because all I'm saying is if there's no light on it and it's not transparent, then it could be seen, could it not, to be shady. And therefore, anything that's not transparent could be seen to be shady. And anything that's shady in terms of finances, people are going to stay away from. Meir, I think you'd have actually a better business model if you improved your transparency and you came out and told people what's going on completely with all of these different segments. People want to know. I would have invested more heavily in one of your bigger, more expensive programs, but I didn't, because I couldn't see where things were going. I didn't understand it. I have to say as well, Meir, that, although Scott's got a lot of energy on your channel, I didn't, and this is just a personal opinion, I didn't necessarily agree with his trading style. It's not, in my opinion, he may have modelled it on you, but it's not as good as yours. And also, in terms of your own, you're teaching traders, you're teaching them almost a system, if you like, to trade. The risk and reward aspect, and this is just a personal thing for me, but the risk and reward aspect didn't quite meet up. You talk about a one-to-one, getting a one-to-one reward to risk on your trades, and I trade and I like more than that. I like better than that. I like to improve my chances, Once you've taken fees into consideration, with a even with a 70% win rate or 75% win rate, if your risk or your reward to risk is only 1-to-1, there's only a marginal profit there, and that's not good enough for me. I make my living from trading, from coaching, from my businesses, and I want more than that. I came into trading initially to make really good money. That's what I want to do, and that's why I look for a better reward to risk from my trades. And if you're teaching people, then you need to want the best for them. You need to educate them in the best way. And some of Scott's trades in your trading room, they weren't 1-to-1 reward to risk. They were lower than that. And over a long series of trades, unless you've got an extremely high win rate, you're not going to make money if you're taking the kind of reward to risk trades that he was taking. And he may be a very successful trader in his own right. I'm talking about translating this into educating other people. As we know, trading's not the easiest business in the world, and people are going to make mistakes from an emotional point of view, psychological point of view, initially, because they're risking their money. It's not an easy business, and so I think you need to look for a better system in terms of trading, which gives you a better reward to risk than 1-to-1. Otherwise, people will eventually just find their accounts draining down each time they take a series of trades. And this is just my opinion, but I think overall your education was great. I'm sure you make good money out of trading. You're a good educator. I like you as a man. However, this is all part of it, is that, there are questions that need to be asked. And so I now address you, Patrick. And what I'd say to you, Patrick, is, the words that you use, man, going back to this, the words that you're using. CFDs are a regulated product. I don't quite understand, like I say, how it all works with him. But, if it's a CFD product, it is legit. I'm sure the CFD product is legit. I'm not sure still about TEFS, because I can't understand where that money comes from, where it goes, or where their involvement is. And perhaps you could explain that, Meir. But CFDs are legit, and so I have no reason to believe that there's anything other than legitimacy there. It's just because I can't see what's going on, I don't know. And that's what the public need. The public need to see what's going on. And Meir, you need to understand that. Because if you can translate all this, shine some light on it and make it transparent, you've got a great business model. You've got a great mind. You've got a great trading style. You've got a great education style. If that's your business, which I think that's what you want it to be, teaching traders, helping people to make money. We all have deep in our hearts, I know I do, a desire to help people. And if you can help people make money, then that's going to make them happy. It's going to make them feel better about themselves, give themselves better self-worth. That's what I do in life. And if you can do that, then I'm sure that's going to delight your heart, Meir. I think you've got a good one, and this is just my advice, my opinion, if you like, to you, is to get more transparent, tell people what exactly is going on, and the money you'll find will flow to you for your education programs. It would have from me. I had phone calls from your guys at Tradenet, which is your education supplier, if you like, your education company. I had phone calls from people there saying, do you want to put more money in a Colmex account? And I thought, well, why are Colmex not phoning me? Still don't know why, but I said no, because I don't quite know where things are going. Oh, what do you mean? I said, well, first of all, actually, I'm based in the UK. I'd like an account in GBP rather than US dollars. Is that possible? And they said yes. So great, you like to say yes. But then I thought, why are Tradenet telling me that it's okay to open an account with Colmex in GBP? And then the old questions are going through my mind, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm still not getting this. And so what did I do? Well, I didn't invest any more money, sadly. And that's my feedback to you, Meir. That's what I think you can do better. That's where I think if you're looking to grow your business, I think you can grow your business through just opening up on these particular aspects, being a little bit more transparent about things, and then you will not get people like Patrick disturbing your peace, and obviously and inevitably having an impact on your business, sadly. From Patrick's point of view, Patrick, I think you're a good man. You seem to have a good heart, and I like your videos, frankly. I think there's a little bit of synergy between us. I just think, as I've said, that we need to just watch those words, and let's not make them accusations, because they're not. They can't be accusations. They are, as you say, they are opinions, and that's all they are. So that's my way in to the Tradenet Patrick Wieland, or the Meir Barak and Patrick Wieland debate. I hope you enjoy my thoughts. As I say, I'm a coach. I try to take an impartial view from both sides, and I try to do good for people. I look for the best in people, and I want the best for the world, and I believe in transparency. I think the financial world has got a lot to answer for. I'm going to be doing more video posts on this subject in the future, and opening up some of the things from my past in financial services, some of the things I experienced from the big banks, the big institutions, and the dodgy, I've used a word that maybe I shouldn't use, but the dodgy practices of some of the banks and institutions. One thing that I think is dodgy in terms of CFDs is a word called slippage, which I've suffered from hugely myself. Seems to be a random indicator almost, this word slippage. It's like a charge that the brokers can apply if they feel like it, even though they're market makers. They can apply this slippage to your entries as well as your exits, although they don't necessarily, and I'm not talking about Tradenet here or Colmex or anything, I'm talking about the bigger brokers, and they can apply this slippage charge basically whenever they want, even though most of them are making the market, which means that they're effectively taking money from traders and taking the trades. In my view, when a trader presses the button to buy or presses the button to sell, if they're day trading, then if I'm dealing with a market maker, I want my order executing there and then. We've got high-speed internet these days. You've got good systems. Why is there a delay between when I press the button and when when the computer systems at my broker actually take my trade? Why is there a difference in price? Why can't I have the price that was displayed on my screen when I pressed the button to buy or sell? That's my question to you guys, and I'm going to be asking more of these type of questions in the future. And as I say, I'm not talking about Colmex necessarily. I don't quite think that they're, in terms of my orders with them, when I had an account with them, they were okay, they were nothing worse than average in filling orders. If anything, they were better. There are a lot worse culprits. I mean, some of these brokers out there, I read on a website the other day, we don't take both sides of we'll not take the other side of your trade. We'll give you an honest entry and exit into your trades. And then there was a paragraph that said, a couple of seconds after you've pressed your button, you'll see your order being filled on the screen. And I looked at that and I went, what? A couple of seconds? You've got to be kidding me. Some of these markets move quickly. A couple of seconds can mean, like all of the profit on a trade almost. These practices they're not in the light. And I want the light to be shone on financial services industry throughout the world. I want traders to get a fair deal. I'm in it for the trader. I'm in it for the little man. I might be tall, but I'm only a little man. I'm only on my own. But I believe in the power of the individual to make a good life for themselves. And I think that we can all work together to get a better deal out of the world, to get the world a better place. That's my mission in life. I hope that that resonates with some of you. Anyway, I hope you found all of that interesting. Didn't want to offend anybody. Hopefully I didn't. Maybe raised a few more questions. and I look forward to any questions or comments that you've got. Leave them in the boxes below the video. Do go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're interested in hearing more. I've got plenty more to say, plenty more coming over the next weeks and months, days, weeks and months even. So it's been my pleasure to spend a bit of time with you, and I look forward to either working with you, or I look forward to sharing more of my thoughts with you in due course. My name's Anthony Beardsall. Take care, guys. See you soon.